You may never have felt in your life as though you had been discovered. But for Indigenous people, for Anishinaabe people, we were literally discovered, and we have been described in that way in innumerable historical texts and poetic texts and pictures and everything. We were always the passive kind of ground that was opened up by these brave, intrepid European explorers. And I felt this tremendous need to overturn that and to say, I can discover you right back. I can put my mark here and take something from you. I can never take from Europe what they took from us. I can never replicate the destruction, and I wouldn't want to, frankly. But what I do want to do is let them know that this was a monstrous act of violence, and that it needs to be responded to. And so that was what I was trying to do. So my initial impetus was to go and look for Columbus and talk about who he was and what his motivation was. And out of that came a fairly large body of work. So I made the glass pieces that are in the show. They are intended to be reminiscent of nautical instruments of navigation and observation, so they're like lenses. What I wanted to do was entice people to go and look through those lenses as though they were looking for a new world. But embedded in those glass lenses are images from Indigenous documentation of the time, contemporaneous accounts of the coming of the Spaniards, and also remnants of memorial sculptures and public installations from the European perspective. So the show contains 8 glass pieces that are set up in the space. Along that very back wall, there was this large painting. It's acrylic on canvas. It's not stretched. It's like I think of it as a map. And it's there to kind of anchor the ideas of the exhibition, which were to set up a kind of dualistic lens. So these are like 2 lenses as well, like the glass pieces, but they're painted. And they are really intended to encompass a kind of binocular view, bifocal view. So I've been immersed in Western methodology and Western philosophy my whole life. And the only way that I could find this kind of truth was in my imagination, in the House of Invention. And I have always been aware that Western Academy will discount that kind of knowledge, just out of hand. It's not proved. There's no writing to back it up. There's no scientific evidence. We don't have a record. How do you know? And what I believe, and Norval Morrisseau taught me this in that quote, was that I can claim to know. This is really hard for me to say because I am an academic, and I value that kind of methodology, but I have got to bring in this deeper way of knowing. And what I was interested in doing was looking at my perspective, my ancestors' perspective, and the millions and millions of people who were living here at that time who did not think of themselves as part of a new world, as part of an opportunity for someone else to come in and grab. And I wanted to think of that in terms of the historical figure of Columbus.